You can support this show at patreon.com/ASAPodcasting. Welcome back, Skyrim Addict Podcast. Just myself and Colin right now. How's it going?
Even, guys. I'm doing quite well, apart from I got a case of the yawnings. I've yawned about 30 times in the last 3 minutes, so prepare for more.
Yeah, oh man, I'm back to a normal work schedule tomorrow where I actually have to get up in the morning. I'm like, man, it's been a while since I've gone to work early in the morning. This is going to be different.
Yeah, I've been noticing at the shop because the country is still on lockdown, but I've been in one of the shops that I'm in because we do key cutting and stuff. It's glass is essential. So, but now more and more people are realizing that they're suddenly going to have to go back to work soon. But the lazy bastards, I'm completely dead, up to 2-3 o'clock, and then sort of 4:30, 5:15. 10 to 6, hordes of people just coming down to the shop, all galloping the way across the car park, coming and going. Gonna have 30 keys cut for this padlock. No, go away. I've been here all effing day, around playing on my phone, doing nothing all. And when you come in here 10 minutes before I close, no.
Now everybody shows up. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you get for sitting there watching bloody TV in your gym jams all day and then trying to come out and get something the last 10 minutes.
That's it. Oh, man. Yeah, Connor's in for a shock when he goes back. He hasn't been to school since last year. And, so he's been doing school at home, obviously. But, man, a lot of late gaming nights. I tried to get it. I want to download Valheim. He's been playing Valorant, the other V game, because I
haven't even heard that.
He's it's like some first person shooter kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So he loves it because it's super competitive. So I'm like, all right. And then weirdly, he was playing Minecraft again out of nowhere. Him and his friends. I don't know. Maybe it was a nostalgia thing. I don't know. Weird.
It's probably to balance it out.
Yeah,
it's on that on the first person shooter, and then it's like, dude, I gotta be dealing with that. Just let me chill.
I just need some peace for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. I just let me just build this road, sort of
Yeah. I'm just gonna build a house for a while, just hang out,
yeah, sit in front of the fire. I mean, that's I've never played actually Minecraft, but Valheim was a lot like that. I actually kind of rage quietly put it to one side because Valheim's a nice vacation spot, but
yes.
I prefer my home in Skyrim.
Yeah,
and I had to go back and leave Valheim because it's all good traveling around and doing stuff like building and sort of getting all the materials and sort of you have all these little knickknacks and then you build up your house because you just start off with 2 planks of wood and a thatch roof and you're sort of you're lying on the ground and then you just slowly builds up until you've got stone walls and you've got iron gated sort of what you would call it, a barred door, like a gate in front of it, and sort of and it just gets more. I mean, you just build out, and it starts to become an estate more than it is just a random shack. And that's all well and good, but then when you got to do stuff, it's because there's not that many quests. All it is kind of world bosses that you come across.
Oh,
and
okay.
Victor was saying because then I've killed the first world boss and now I'm going to the second world boss. And Victor was saying, my that guy who was just the other end of my island. Mm-hmm. I had to sail to 3 different land masses and cross an ocean.
Oh,
and I finally got to this place and there's no safe place to build a spawn point because it's all in the it would be like setting up a base inside, what should we call it? Inside a dungeon in Skyrim. They wouldn't let you do it because it's all enemies all over the
constantly
place.
spawning. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can, if you build your base there in this sort of like enemy territory, all the enemies come to that base and then start destroying it. So there'd be no point. But I got off the boat anyway to have a look around to see if I could find where this boss was at, because you have to go there and it'll be at, if it's similar to the first two, sorry, so no, I'm on the third boss now. Sorry, no. Yeah, third. Yeah, so, I'll be the first two, now I'm on the third. And you go to a shrine and then you burn something and like an offering to the shrine, and that summons the world boss. So I wanted to get to this shrine at least and scope it out before I headed back. And I got like 3 foot in and then promptly died an arrow in the back. And this game is like, when you die, I mean, it's going to be like no spoiler or anything like that, but when you die, literally everything drops where you die.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah.
And you spawn back at either way you spawned in when you first started the game, it's very early, or where you last slept.
Okay.
So whatever bed you last slept in, you respawn there. But ass naked, apart from the same little thing that you get in Skyrim, that little flappy thing.
Oh man.
Sort of like, and that's all you have, and you have to run back to where you died to find your little gravestone where it is and collect all your stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what happens in Minecraft.
Right.
Yeah, because I don't know how many times I've done that, where I've just early on in the game gone like, yeah, I'm just going to go explore as far as possible away from my house that I just built and all this stuff I just gathered. And then something weird and random happens and I die, and all my maps are now at the bottom of like the ocean or something. And 3 maps away from where where I died. And I'm like, all right. Or I'm completely underground in a mine that I'll never find again. I'm like, well, it was good having all that stuff for a little while anyway. But
yeah, that's and the problem is that, as I said, this place is like at the other end of the ocean, and because it's not like like Skyrim, you die, you go back and a save, and then you like try again, or I'll be a little bit more careful. I know what to expect now, that sort of thing. It's like all your shit's there. The boat that I was on that took me there is there. So to be able to get there, I got to build a whole new fucking boat. And it's just like, dude. And I was just like, all right, now that's it. I'm going home. Screw this. And then I sort of like quietly saved and put it to bed and sort of like, and then put Skyrim on. And I actually started a new character. I was going to go back into that one, which I'm still going to later, which has nearly got the game completed, apart from, I think it was, I'm halfway through the main quest where
okay.
And I've got nearly everything else done apart from, I think it was, no, I've done the Civil War. What was it? Oh, the Dark Brotherhood. That's the only thing I had left. So the rest of, that's it. He's got to summon Odoving.
At
whatchamacallit, at Whiterun, and then
Skulldolphin.
Yeah, do all that, and that'll be from there on to do the main quest, and then just Dark Brother, and that's all he's got to finish. But I didn't want to do that. One made me jealous when he started talking about Deadly Dragons, downloading that. I didn't even know it was on SE yet. I thought he never ported it. I thought he never
yeah, it's on SE.
Rebuild it. Yeah, so he brought it back to SE, and I was like, oh, I really enjoyed those fights and all those like really different Potato Dragons. It was really, really well done.
Oh, it's way harder. It's way harder.
Have you downloaded it? Are you playing with it?
Yeah, I have it in my Legend of Dragonborn game I'm doing. And so like I ended up with the one flying over the museum. I think I mentioned it last time. Well, it was still there when I started today. And I'm like, oh, crap. So I come out the back door because I kicked off a quest. I have like 126 items in the museum now. So I kicked off a quest where somebody flies in from elsewhere.
Yeah.
And the back door. So I go out the back door, and then the dragon is still there, of course, and then starts fighting the 2 people that are out there. and I think completely screws up my quest a little bit, or ultimately ends it much faster than I had planned on it ending. But so yeah, I don't know where the dragon ended up. It got killed eventually, but obviously it can't land in solitude, and it can't land on top of the ship that's docked out back in the air. The the Elsewherian airship, I forget what they're called, but so the dragon is somewhere probably down below in the water or something like that, or over by like where I have to go for the horn of Jurgen Windcaller or something. Who knows? It probably flew all the way over to there. Yeah, Oostengrav. That's it. Yeah. So so I kicked off that quest, and I also got the guard for the museum.
Yeah,
he showed up right before that. So I got a couple things there, but yeah. So that quest, basically, what happened was I go out there, and he's got like some staff or something, the Khajiit. I don't know. I started talking to him, but it got totally interrupted by a dragon fight and fire flying out of the sky. And then a Thalmor appeared, and after the dragon fight, killed the Khajiit.
Right, yeah.
And I'm like, I wasn't done talking to him. So then I killed the Thalmor. But that ended the quest. So I don't know. I guess the quest is over, and I have the thing. So
it can go one or two ways. The whatchamacallit, the Thalmor stowed away, because it's actually I think it's the Khajiit stole the ship from the Thalmor.
Yep.
And they managed to do that, and then he brought you the staff to keep it safe and blah blah blah. And then the Thalmor stowed away, and he's about to attack and try and kill the Khajiit.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you kill the Thalmor first, then he's so grateful he gives you the ship. But obviously, if he kills the Thalmor, kills the Khajiit, and then you kill the Thalmor, then there's nobody else to claim the ship. Therefore,
so you have the
ship. You have the ship.
I assumed I was getting the ship because I went aboard the ship during the dragon fight and went inside and was like, "Oh, I can go places. This must be my ship at some point." And then neither survived anyway. But yeah. So it messed up that whole. I didn't get the whole story because the dragon thing interrupting and all that. So, but regardless, they're both dead. I have the ship.
It's pretty tasty bit, and sort of you can take that to different points in the city. So you go inside, and as you saw, you look at the map, tell it where you want to go. Then you go outside, you go to the wheel, and that'll sort of you'll sort of travel there in quotation marks, because then it just goes black screen. But you do have the arrival thing of where you can actually see it sort of roll up to where it lands.
Oh, okay.
And it looks pretty cool as well, when you sort of where if you park it in a city and you're rolling up to the city, it's just parked outside.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try it out, because I think I'm. Did I leave the museum? No, I think I'm just outside the museum. So, because I went in and I realized I could send the guild members, the what is it, the Explorers Guild? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That I could send them out to excavate or something.
Yeah, and get.
So I sent all of them to go excavate. So I don't know what that'll affect, but everybody's going to excavate now. So, because I got distracted, so I was heading from. I finished up the High Hrothgar stuff, the first one where you get Whirlwind, the second shout of Whirlwind Sprint. So I haven't been fast traveling at all. The only time I fast travel is to go back to the museum to drop stuff off, after I get too loaded down. So I did High Hrothgar, and I went back, took the horse back down the steps. The horse was super good going up. I've only ridden a horse up there a few times. It's definitely the way to go, because you can, unless you want to fight everything on the way up, the horse is the way to go, because you can get past it all pretty quickly.
And it's good if you don't have a follower. Yeah. I think he has it written in that because you can buy your follower a horse, so they will ride a horse behind you and all the time. And he has it written in that if you're in the middle of the fight and you just want to leave it, if you jump on the horse, your follower will leave combat and go and jump on the horse and follow you.
Oh, that's
It
good.
won't. Yeah, so it won't like constantly fighting. Like you have to stay behind and fight because your follower won't leave the fight.
Yeah, because you get stuck there waiting until they're done. Yeah. Yeah, so I finished that up. Started going from Iverstead towards towards Windhelm, and then obviously up above there to Ustengrav or whatever. But so I went that way, and of course I got distracted and ended up at Mistwatch on the way. So I went all the way through there. Was it Fiola or Fiola? I think Fiola. Yeah, yep. Fiola. I ended up doing that whole thing. Then she gave me the ring, and I was like, "No, she's dead, guy. You got to leave. I'm sorry." She's like, "Thanks," and I was on my way again. That's when after that I fast traveled to the museum because I had picked up too much junk, and so I fast traveled over to there and was clearing stuff out, and then remembered I had the dragon and all that kind of stuff, and then I got the guard and everything else and sorted some things out, stuff like that. So then I was going to head since I'm already up in Solitude, I'll head back right down to get the horn that's obviously not there. And spoilers in case you've never played this game. I go to get the horn and find a note, and then go meet with Delphine and Riverwood.
I'm playing it a little bit differently from how I usually play. Is that I've started off the dragons obviously because I wanted to start doing deadly dragons, which I've only had the 3 that I've fought. Is the one at the watchtower, and then 2 that have attacked me. Are just ordinary dragons. Apart from like the one just that I recently was a storm dragon. So it looked exactly like a normal dragon, but its breath and its like extra shouts and everything like that were lightning damage, like the sparks and things like that. And because I have you can go into the MCM, the menu, and you can sort of boost dragons up. And I have it. There's only 3 settings. They have like vanilla, where all the dragons are. They have like all the different types of dragons, but they're not any more powerful than what the dragons are in vanilla Skyrim. Or you have expert, which really boosts up, and then after that you have this insane setting.
Oh boy!
I always have it on. I always have it on the expert setting.
Yeah,
which does extra damage, and it gives basic dragons like extra attacks, so they'll spend more time in the air, less time on the ground.
Yeah,
and then they'll do like the normal shouts with because with my new character, I went with a Breton again, and I've got no ordinator, so I've just got the vanilla perks.
Mm-hmm.
I've got no apocalypse, so I've just got all the vanilla spells. And I've got no standing stone mod either, so I'm going with the vanilla stones because I just wanted to do the the Breton thing that I used to always do is high magic resistance.
Yeah.
So I've got the Lord Stone and I got the Breton magic resistance. I've already kicked off the Mara quest to be able to get the 10% from that, so I could be able to withstand all the magic attacks. But so when they were using the breath attack, I wasn't taking that much damage. But they also have these extra attacks where they have like the wall of flames or the wall of star, and that's like 20 damage per second.
Oh god!
When you're standing, literally guards were like standing in it for 5 seconds. Well, bop, bop, bop. I was outside Solitude, and he just wiped out every single guard in there. It was just me, Lydia, and all I had at the time was I still only have the the flame atronach. And literally he breathed on it like constant stream of breath. The storm dragon, I just killed the flame atronach instantly.
Oh man!
In one attack. I just had to keep on resummoning that, and I was hiding in those towers. That just by where the car is just outside.
Yes, as you're coming up the front. Yeah.
So I was running in there behind the car, poking a head out, hitting him with an arrow, but because he's got shitloads of armor now as well, so he was doing like 2 damage, 2 damage, 2 damage. But it took a while, but I finally got him down. But it was a blast. It was like what you really would expect a dragon fight to be like.
No one shot kind of thing. Yeah. Because right now,
like,
I had I'm just using an Imperial bow, so yeah, the Deadly Dragons thing is a challenge to say the least. Imperial bow and some fire bolts, that's kind of where I'm rolling at this level.
Yeah, I'm not doing destruction. I've gone light armor, like 2-handed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing smithing, and I went up light armor side. So I've got Elven already, and I'm out buying I'm still in a pair of leather boots because they've got dwindling flames on them. And was it conjuration, alteration? That's the 2 magics I'm doing. So yeah, it was smithing, light armor, 2-handed. So I'm running low on perks. That's my only problem.
Running low. Yeah, I'm gonna. I do have a couple small quests to grab, like the Nettlebeam quest. I have set up. I have the what's her name, Windarian or whatever it is over in Riften. The mage.
Oh yeah,
I have her little quests I have to do.
Get all the little scraps.
Yeah, spoon and stuff like that. So I'm going to pick off a few of those too while I'm rolling around that part of the map. So
I was just meandering around, and then I just decided I had no backstory for this character. I was just like playing. I was just rolling on through.
Yeah.
And then I decided just to stick with that. So for the longest time now, for the first time in a long time, I'm running around with the compass out on the top. So I'm just rolling along. So I'm playing it as he thinking it's he is a Dragonborn. He's not the Dragonborn.
Yeah.
Eventually, some other asshole is going to be big to the
take care of
Dragonborn, and they'll go up there up to High Hrothgar, and they'll take care of it.
There you go.
So he's just like rolling around, just me, Lydia, and the summoned Atronach and the 2 horses. And as whatchamacallit, as we come across anything on the compass, whatever cave, whatever it is, because you were saying I got distracted by a cave, and it's been so long since I've done that, because I will actively avoid going into places if I haven't got a quest for it.
Yeah.
And then I remembered that if you go into a place that is quests, there's a big quest in there.
Yep.
It's actually, if you go into it before you activate the quest, it's slightly different.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
There's certain places you go in and it's walled off or something like that. It might be different. Like the biggest one is, what's the one with the werewolf quest out of Falkreath?
Oh, yeah.
Bloodman's something cave.
Yeah, because you can't get through the whole thing.
Yeah, it's there's actually a sword in
this, in the there's the light coming down from up above with the sword right in the is it in a rock or something in the center?
No, it's at whatchamacallit, I forgot what it's fucking called. It's like the Hersine quest, and when you're going in to kill the werewolf.
Yeah.
But if you don't do that quest, if you go in there, there's spriggans and bears and shit
Stuff
and everything
like that.
in there.
Yeah.
And then they're right in the very top. There's I think it's a Talos statue, like a shrine to Talos.
Okay.
And then there's a named sword in there. But if you go in there in the Blood Moon quest, it's not there.
That's a good point. Yeah, yeah. Huh.
So there's also one that's that doesn't matter when you go in there, whether you go in the quest or not. I went into the bear cave. No, the troll cave. Sorry, troll cave. That's just below the stone. What's the stone that raises dead?
Oh yeah. The why can't I remember that? Andrew used that so much. The one on the way to the Valheim Towers.
Yeah, that's it. So that stone, everybody remember that stone?
Yeah. I forget what it's called, but yeah, where you can raise everybody who's dead around you.
Yeah. The inside that cave, there's a troll cave just below where that stone is, and that's where you find Froki's bow.
Yes,
and if you go in there, on the quest for his thing of where you're going around killing all the bear, the skeever, and all that sort of stuff, eventually the last thing is to go in and kill a troll in that cave or a cave, and that has a troll in it. But if he sends you there, which is the usual one, his bow is inside it, and you get to bring his bow back and say, "Oh, look, hey, I found your bow." And he's
I don't think I've ever brought him back the bow, or have I? Because I think I've probably gone through there prior and sold it or something.
It does have a pretty basic enchantment on it.
Yeah,
like a stamina drain. So I don't think you can we call it disenchant it.
Yep, it's not like a crazy good enchantment, but maybe I've disenchanted it, or maybe that's what it is. Something like that. And Ray has joined us.
Hello.
Talking some dragons and what is it called? Froki's bow.
Yeah, I ran into a named dragon, Worm, and he, along with with blasting you with fire, he was also spawning shades. So,
oh man,
he would unleash a pack of 6 shades. They were called minions, I think. By the time I finally killed him, Solitude was completely wiped out.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Have you got Deadly Dragons installed as well?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, I had because I had my dragon in Solitude that I finally took care of that was flying around the museum. So I had the same issue. I don't know if he killed anybody in town yet. I haven't actually checked that.
Oh yeah, this guy, he went from one end of town to the other.
Oh, and just wiped him out.
Yeah, as soon as I found a place to start shooting him, at the Blue Palace end of town, he'd fly down to the entrance.
You know what it was?
Then I'd go running down there, and he'd fly back up to the Blue Palace.
Oh God.
So I did. I went in and tweaked the settings so that they would land more. Because this guy he was not landing.
Yeah, it does make it a little more difficult.
Yeah. There's at the full mod at the start, was it because I remember the first time I ever played with this, and what he done in the original mod was he made some dragons like Alduin, the one that you're supposed to be fucking using it on, resistant to Dragon Rend.
Oh,
so it would only last like a second or two before it would fade off, and then he'd be able to take off again. So, because usually with Dragon Rend, it recycles so quickly that you could, if you hit him enough, he'll never get off the ground. Right. But he made it that certain dragons, like really powerful dragons, were resistant to Dragon Rend. So actually, it would wear off them before your shout would recycle, and you could reshout again. But now he has a thing to write the phone mod saying dragons are not resistant to Dragon Rend, and he makes the damage from Dragon's Bane, the sword that you get in the from the blades,
right?
That they can't resist the damage from that. Because again, he made within his original mod, he made certain other dragons, probably Alduin and others, resistant to the damage that Dragon Bane done to them as well. But I remember when I first played with it, I was moaning about those two fucking things. Everybody else
pretty specific stuff there.
And I was like, right, yeah, no. Check that option and I checked both of the options where he's like, because by default that neither of them were checked. And I was like, no, I'm checking those.
No. Yeah, mine must have been flying. The museum must be a separate location from the town, because he didn't see.
If it's
Because he didn't bother the town.
yeah, because you were on the dock, weren't you? Because that's outside. That's part of Skyrim.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's
Oh
weird.
yeah, you built the guild house.
Yeah, the guild was.
Yeah. Yeah, and the backside of that is separate from the town.
Yes, yeah. So that's where I guess he's flying around just right in that specific area.
That's
has been, and I think also if you go out on the upstairs from the safe house, out those doors he was attacking too. But I think that's considered Skyrim and not Solitude also. Oh, which now explains why. Because I jumped off the balcony from the safe house down and immediately died. Because maybe
before you even hit the ground.
Yeah, because I guess maybe because I'm jumping from Skyrim to Solitude. Weirdly, I don't know. I think that may be something that happened. But yeah, I think if you go out the doors from the safe house, it's Skyrim, I think, and not Solitude. But I could be mistaken. But definitely the back door to the dock is definitely Skyrim. And that's where the battle ended.
Yeah. He was a really cool looking dragon. Kind of blue and green with yellow undertones, very jewel looking. But just, kicking everybody's butt. Fortunately, my sneak's high enough that the shades would run right past me.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
And so, because they were tough. I mean, they probably took 10 arrows to kill one.
Oh, jeez.
And most of the time they would despawn before I would finish killing just one of them.
Oh man! So you would end
up. That sounds like a job for the town guard if ever I heard one.
Well, yeah, right down to the last man.
Yeah, the same for me. Hey, you guys all dressed in red, in quotation marks. Can you go and take care of that?
Oh man. Oh.
Yeah, I was just telling Michael earlier that I had a storm dragon outside the front gates of Solitude, and I had a storm dragon attack there. It was just a basic dragon and just basic attacks, apart from that wall of flame stuff where he had the wall of storms. Other than that, it was just a normal dragon, and he just wiped out every single guard that was outside there. I do have safe stones checked though, so those dragons won't attack in the major cities.
Okay, I'll have to check that setting.
Yeah. Oh man.
They'll check. They'll attack. Whatchamacallit, like places like Riverwood and stuff like that. But if it's inside the cities where you got your main NPC batch and everything like that, I think they're checked to mark the safe zones.
Yeah, I think I may need to check that before I start losing people.
Yeah, one of the people that died, one of the women from Radiant Raymond's.
Yeah. She wandered out.
And fortunately, I had done the quest where you wear her outfit to the Blue Palace. Because when she died, I became her heir.
Oh, nice.
Oh, there you go.
Little courier stopped me. I'm like, wait a minute. It's not time for a courier. And he said, yeah, our condolences. And sure enough. So I got
nice.
I got 90 of the 100 septums.
Oh, there you go. That's nice. Nice reward.
Yeah, it's only her sister that's the rude one. She must be really nice, actually. Apart from
she was really nice after I wore her outfit. To,
wow, yeah. To be fair, that's true. That's true. Oh gosh. Yeah, I was saying I'm up to 126 items in the museum now.
Ooh.
And
you're lagging.
Yeah. Well, I got distracted after High Hrothgar, ended up in Mistwatch and a few other places along the way, and
so I pushed really hard so that I could get over the 150, that I could get the guild house.
Oh, see, I already had that anyway because of the way I started.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I've just been on a tear. So I think I'm up to about 250 displays now.
Oh, wow.
250, 260, something like that. Ooh. So I started doing the Daedric quests and realized that I have never, in all this time, done the Periite quest.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that was interesting.
Well, that one is nice. Yeah, that's a good one because it's a little out of the way if you don't wander up to the top of that hill.
Yeah, and I was Arngir sent me to that barrow up there to get a word of power. And I passed Periite's site on my way up there, trying to find the barrow.
Okay.
That makes sense. There's Dragon Priest one up there, if I remember rightly. And that's the only problem is that you get all the way up and you speak to Kesh. Because if he gets sent there by, the wandering Breton who vomits on everybody, like all his buddies, if he gets sent there, he goes, go talk to Kesh, and then he finally talk to Kesh, and then Kesh is like, oh yeah, go and get this, this. He gives you a shopping list of stuff, and you're like, what? God damn it! and even if you even think about ahead, you don't think that the 3 items. If I remember, like a ruby and a death bell. Yeah, I should have everything, and you're always missing something. I think it's like a silver ingot and a ruby, a death bell, and something.
Yeah, there was something else. I don't remember what it was. Well, and I also did the quest for the orcs over in the Rift. And I forgot to stop back at the safe house, and so I didn't have my Daedra heart and what's the other thing you need? Oh, vampire dust.
Oh yeah, because it's all in the in the.
In the ingredients.
Yeah, ingredients. Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, screw it. I'm not fast traveling all the way back there, going in there, getting it, and fast traveling back. Console. Player add item. Because damn it, I've got those back there, but I just couldn't be bothered to go back and get it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you need those. Yeah. Oh, I did the was it the Sybil? Where you find the Sybil for the
for Dibella.
Dibella, yeah. I did that as well while I was out adventuring. I forget how I came across it. Maybe I went right to Markarth and found out. I forget how I stumbled across it. Oh yeah, because she's not. Is she in the cage if you don't start it there?
No,
she's not there unless you kick the quest off, right?
Yeah,
right. It's empty otherwise. Yeah, so I must have, or maybe I was in. Was it Carthwasten or something like that? You can find out about it, or is it the mine?
Yeah. The
mine to the east of Markarth, whatever it is, that the two people in the town are fighting over or something. I think, right? Is that what it is? Yeah.
The only way I know it to start it up. Well, you can go to the Temple of Dibella, but the way it's in Eshes is what's his name? I think it's Degane, which is the homeless guy in Markarth, and he asks you to go in and steal the statue to Dibella. It's like made of solid gold.
Yeah.
And he says, like, once you go in there and you're trying to sneak in, and then they catch you, if they catch you, because I done it once, but my sneak was so high that I just went in, sold it, and left.
Yeah, I've done that.
I didn't realize that there's a quest because nobody caught me. But if they catch you, then they send you off the quest to go and get the Sybil.
Yeah, that reminds me, I do need a statue of Dibella.
There's a few around.
20 of them.
Yeah, just go to Riften. There's one there.
Yeah.
Right in the what is that? The bunkhouse or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Elgis.
Yeah, where everybody's hanging out. not up to anything.
Yeah.
I also started a character on Xbox and threw on Moonpath Elsewhere because it had come up in the Discord. And I was like, oh, I think I played it a long time ago, but I don't know how far I got into it or anything. So I played a little bit of that. Then it crashed. So I was like, and then I started doing something else. But I'll probably hop into a little more of Moonpath on the Xbox One and try it out some more. Because I think I may have started it in the past. I vaguely remember the beginning part. But I don't think I got very far. So I'm going to try exploring a little bit. But yeah, I got to get more items for the museum. I just got the guard, and I just got obviously the quest with the Khajiit and Thalmor out back with the airship kicked off. So starting to do some more things.
If you guys have built a, what you call it, the guild house, there's a little letter upstairs. You might want to like a read of that if you haven't already.
Oh, I don't think I've gone upstairs.
Yeah, there's an upstairs.
Yeah, there's steps as you come in the door, right?
Mm.
To the left.
Yeah, you got the woman that sells stuff just above that where all the old sleep.
Yeah.
I don't have any people in my guild yet.
Oh,
I got to figure that out. Yeah, I went in there so that I wouldn't have so that I wouldn't have to go upstairs and get into the safe house. I just popped into the lodge there and hit the containers in there. It's nice that those are connected.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's very nice. And there's which I think it was missing something. I think it's one of the I think it's either the miscellaneous chest or the building materials chest is missing out there though.
So I did figure out the jade statue thing. So I told the guy that that I couldn't find the relic, and so he gave me another one, and another thing to go find, which also had to be stolen. So then I told him I couldn't get that one, so he sent me on another one to Bits and Pieces. There's a jade statue there that had to be stolen. I happened to be back at Bellathor's, and when I went into his inventory, I saw the jade dragon there. Like, wait a minute, that wasn't there when I was looking for it. So I guess if you have the quest to steal it, it doesn't show up in their inventory. As soon as you no longer have to steal it from them, then it shows up in their inventory. You can buy it. They're really stinking expensive.
Yeah.
But,
like,
I'm rolling in dough. So,
yeah.
But then when you go in and turn in all your junk, it still gets, put into the museum.
That's an interesting mechanic that they pull it out of his inventory when you have to steal it when that's the quest. So there's no real workaround.
Yeah. And then so I checked it again. So I told him that I couldn't get the one at Bits and Pieces. And so he sent me to get Zephyr.
The bow.
And then I went into Bits and Pieces and bought the statue.
That way you have it for down the road. Yeah.
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 So then the other mechanic on that I figured out was that so if you have a quest item that you have to turn into somebody else, if you make a replica of it, then that will go into the museum inventory. So I got Zephyr, and I took it upstairs and improved it to legendary and everything, and then made a replica and went in and turned in all the stuff, and it took the real Zephyr. And left me with the duplicate. So I had to go run downstairs, take the Zephyr off there, and then place the replica on the display.
Oh man! Well, at least you knew where it was in the display area.
Yeah, I definitely got lucky on that one.
Because otherwise, you could have been wandering around forever looking through every stinking display to find Zephyr.
I'm slowly but surely getting used to where things are located.
I haven't explored the displays yet. I need to do that to kind of see where everything's being put.
Yeah, I had no idea where the armory was.
Oh yeah,
And then I just happened to go down the stairs at the end of the hall.
Yeah.
And found it. and then replayed the orc quest because I didn't take Igzar or whatever his name is. I didn't take his armor.
Because it's named armor.
No, it's just orc armor. But
okay.
I just didn't. I hadn't had a set of orc armor.
Oh yeah.
And so when I walked through the displays and saw all the different armors I had, I saw the orc one was empty. Oh shoot! So then I went back a save and went back and this time when the giant killed him, I took it all.
Yeah, it was a metric ton and all.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't really matter now because my health is up over 400, and so I started dumping into
stamina.
Into stamina, and so now I still haven't made a bandolier because I just haven't needed one because my carry weight's 830 pounds with what I've already got.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
And I'm also I took the steed stone.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't have to stop and unload anymore.
That's nice. Yeah, I think I'm at like 500 carry weight with the backpack and all.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course I could add stuff to the horse. I have the bags on the horse too. But then I would need to get to the horse to put things in it to do it.
Yeah, I did discover you can overload your horse.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Did you do?
Yeah,
I did, and then he wouldn't move. Okay,
fine. He starts moving real slowly. You're on top of him, and he's like, ding, 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 ding. But you can change the settings on that, but I leave him as that he can get overloaded if he puts all that stuff on. But you can have it that he can haul everything.
I'm just happy he's still alive.
He kept on getting in the way of my dragon fight. My horse kept on running in because if you go up to the gates of Solitude and then you come out, there's like another like separate like tunnel type thing right down as you're heading towards the towers. And I was in that to sort of like avoid getting sort of like shouted on. And the horse came running up and it stood on there with me. Yeah, getting in the way. And I was like, move.
Yeah. Pushing you out into the open.
Yeah. Go on, you get out there. Shoot him with the bow. I forgot what I was thinking. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So when I'm traveling around, I'm just going in every cave I come across and leaving all the quests alone. Well, for the most part, I'll pick up quests. As I said, I'm doing the Mara quest. So I'm currently in Iverstead. I'm actually I just left just before the show started. I was in Shroud Hearth Barrow. I was just about to do the last room in there. Once I'm done in there, then I've got to talk to Fast Tread about getting sorted with Klimek or whatever the other Barnius is. That the other guy's name? The really horrible one. So you always end up picking Klimek.
Yeah, Bassianus.
That's it, Bassianus. So I've got that sorted, and then I'm sort of like after I finish there, so I'll have to go back and talk to Dinya, I think her name is, in the Mara Temple.
Oh, yeah. I think so. I think that's her name.
So I'm going to hit up every cave and pretty much everything that shows up on the compass from there to Riften. I'm just going to stroll into and sort of like just wander into every single cave and sort of like, see if they've hidden anything that I haven't found in any of the other playthroughs and just stumble across it slowly. And then hopefully get attacked with one of those fancy dragons I've been waiting on.
Oh, man. Yeah. I got to explore, too. I got to find more random stuff.
You can start if you want to up your numbers in the displays. You can start picking up all the books and buying all the books in the shops.
Oh yeah, I do that. I pick up every book. Yeah, yeah, because it sorts them into the library as well, right?
Yeah. There's a few nice ones in there. I was it because there's a book Skyrim in the original game called A Less Rude Song. And then there's another one that they've added. It's just called A Rude Song. And then then there's like some like the minutes of the Lusty Argonian Maid Appreciation Society.
Oh my god, amazing!
Like a book club for the Lusty Argonian Maid and stuff like that. You collect those books.
Oh, that's amazing.
You collect all the sort of like and display all the Wolf Queen books, which is about Potema of Solitude.
Yeah.
And was it then? There's the 36 Lessons of Vivek. That's a fucking 36 volumes of 36 books.
Yeah, I'm only missing like 7 or 8 of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's one of the quests. Gosh, I can't think I try to remember what it is now. It's one I haven't really done too much of, but I have done before. You go through a Falmer cave.
Yeah, it's Torvald's cave.
Yeah, that's the one. Torvald's.
It's where you go to do the Barazaya Quran quest. But you can get sent there for other stuff.
Yeah.
But it's the Barazaya quest, which...
I think there's a word wall in there. I've been trying to do that. I'm getting as many of those quests from Arngir as I can. But yeah, I got just an absolute crap ton of those. A whole bunch of different series are in that cave.
Yeah, I can't remember because it was like I think it was refugees or something like that from Morrowind, and they were coming through that cave, and they were all like full of like some of them were obviously ruined books, but you pick those up anyway. So,
Does it count the books as displayed items as well, or is that just there's the number of items, just the actual items and not the books?
I'm pretty sure the books are displays because it says displays, so I think it's added to it.
Yeah.
And, obviously the ones that go inside the bookshelves, the bookcases.
Yeah.
And like just ordinary books. I think it's only the ones that are displayed out in the main library.
The special ones that would be displayed. Yeah.
I think they're the only ones that are classed as displays.
That would make sense. Yeah. I'm gonna pop back into the museum and walk around and see where my displays are. I assume there's a bunch of armor ones because obviously I've collected a bunch of junk armor and sorted that and all that kind of stuff. So I just want to see, and I'll see what books I have in there. And I think I have to turn in some, like 20 ruined books for to what's her name. I think I have those now. I found a bunch. The last couple places I was, finally ruined books started showing up again. I was like, oh, there's ruined books everywhere in here. Grab all these. I almost ended up going to Fort Amol on the way to Iverstead. So close to going in there. I was like, oh, I can get that bow. I can get that bow. But I don't think it was high power. I think it was only like level 15 at the time. So I was like, God, I'm going to get wiped out as soon as I sneak in that door. They're going to see me. I'm just going to get blasted. It's going to be over. So I think I have to stop there too. And the prison's there too as well. The abandoned prison.
Yeah, you've also got the... I've forgotten what it's called, but the one with the guy where his the golf is in there messing with his ancestors.
Oh, I did do that one with Goldier.
Goldier, that's it.
Yeah. And who's in there? It's she begins with a V or something.
That's it. Val's Varen.
That's it. Yeah.
Doing God's know what with my ancestors.
Yeah.
Chicka wow wow.
Yeah, I did roll through. Actually, that was where I got distracted on my way to Iverstead because it's right before you get to Fort Amol. So I was like, oh man, I just spent like a whole day in that cave battling that guy. I can't waste that time at Fort Amol now. I got to get to Iverstead at some point, or I'm never going to get there.
Yeah, just one more thing.
If I keep adding one more thing, I'm never getting there. So I'm like, all right, that was enough. I did that. Let me keep moving.
Well, just one more thing. It's only 3 a.m. It's fine.
Yeah. Because that Val's Vern one takes a while because he like reanimates like so many Draugr in that final battle. And it's like 20 of them, and then after you kill them, he then conjures them back up again. So it's like this incessant battle that never ends. And again, I was shooting with like an Imperial bow and like steel arrows, and I'm on like whatever master or whatever. So it's like taking 4 days to kill them slowly, and I'm running around in circles to try and not get killed at the same time.
It's hilarious. Whenever I come across a lot of Draugr Deathlords.
Oh yeah.
Because I think I'm level 43 or something.
Oh yeah, that'll be right.
And those suckers look like porcupines when I get done. Because I've dumped like 30 arrows into them, and they're all still sitting there, in the animation, stuck to these Draugr. And then, of course, I get 2 of them back.
Yeah.
He's got 70 in them. You get 2 back. That's good. Oh, God. Yeah, that's helpful.
Yeah. So I did get a little bit worried. So I thought, okay, I should probably progress the Dragonborn quest along a little more, since I'm, doing the Dragonborn Museum, and that's the empty part of the museum at this point. And so I was hung up at, diplomatic immunity. So I thought, all right, I'll get going on that. So I did that. I gave my stuff to the wood elf and then hopped in the carriage. Of course, when I get to Katia's farm to talk to what's her dinkle, a dragon attacks. And so she goes running off all the way down to the end of the docks, chasing after this dragon, shooting at it. So I just reloaded. And so she gave me the nice clothes and the note to get me in. And so I go through that, and I go through the conversation with Elwyn, and then go up to Malvain again to talk to him. And the door behind him is missing, along with
that's what you were saying. That. Yeah,
half of the assets, in that room. And so, okay, well, I mean, just because I can't see them doesn't mean they're not there. And so I went through the interaction and everything, and sure enough, got up to it, and it said the door was open, but I couldn't walk through. And so I tried a couple of other things and finally started doing some research on it and found out that it was a problem with ELFX. And, so they're saying, just disable the mod, and then do it. And, of course, all the stuff for the mods, like whatever you do not at any point disable this mod or it's going to break everything. So I'm like, crap. So I poked around and found a couple of patches that I hadn't picked up for it, and got those loaded in and went back in, and the door was there. So, crisis averted.
Jeez. Yeah, that would have ruined the day.
I mean, it would have been pretty tragic if the Dragonborn part of the Dragonborn Museum was empty.
The only empty wing in the entire museum is the Dragonborn wing.
Yeah, well, that's Orion's fault for giving you too much shit to do. Just one more thing. No, fuck off. There's dragons out there. Dragon shades out there eating people.
Yeah,
fuck up.
Yeah. Oh God. We did get some feedback from Dave.
Sweet.
Starts off Valheim sold to Gullible Scott's Virtual Adventurer by Victor and Colin. Okay, he bought Valheim after listening to Victor saying it was awesome and Colin enthusing about it. And so far, it's living up to expectations. Died a few times, but he's got his workstation and starter home going, and now consolidating his area, doing a bit of crafting. So you've sold. There's been another person sold into Valheim. But he's also doing his Legend of the Dragonborn character. Restarted a couple times, testing a few things. Added a travel mod to give his boats and extra carriages, but still walking everywhere. Used Disparity to give her a good scout setup, ignoring the starter quest for the why can't I ever say this name? Pentacula Oculatus, as I know it's a tricky area up in the north. By the way, she gets a horse from the startup bonus, although I'm just using it as a pack horse as usual. Let's see. Walked to Helgen from Dragonbridge and started the main quest up until she left the Greybeards. Killed the Mirak disciples, then returned to do the first museum quest after Portia picked up her father's imposed Khajiit assassin bodyguard, Makikas from Riften Jail. Now she, Lydia, and Makikas off to Windhelm to get the Daedric boots for the museum. I've also console set Lydia to be essential, unkillable, so that I don't kill her in error. Interesting idea. That's a good idea. Because then you won't have what happened to me when you are using flames, and obviously flames are uncontrollable at low levels. Portia is doing okay so far. Level 9, one-handed, 45. Oh, at level 9, one hand is 45, block 35, marksman 42. Magicka not worth a damn except for restoration at 12, but expecting that to grow. Has started a journal back up, and we'll be putting it on the McBeta WordPress site when it gets around to it. So,
cool.
For those that remember those stories, they are actually all online on the McBeta WordPress site. But yeah, good idea, making Lydia unkillable. You won't run into the minor issues I've had. I've decided not to grab
minor.
Yeah. Well,
it's just a flesh wound.
Minor.
Walk it off, love.
From my perspective, it was a minor issue. Lydia's perspective, probably not a minor issue. But these things, they happen. Yeah. I'm like, all right,
she would have taken exception to it, except she was dead.
Yeah. And I was trying not to kill her. That was the worst part. But I was like, oh, God. But you're in those tight corners, and you're in the stairwell going down, and the flames, they just go everywhere.
The sweat was in your eye. Yeah.
If she had done a better job and killed all those,
you had enemies, your mask on. You had your mask on. It was steaming up your glasses.
Yeah. Yeah, like Frater said, it's like they want to die sometimes. It's a very fair point.
Well, and to be fair, so she can stand there and, the Death Lord is whacking her with the ebony war axe.
Yeah.
And, she's just, sitting there taking it, taking a knee from time to time. Your flames brush her arm and singe the hair on her arm, and she dies.
That finishes it all off right there. That's the end. It was all good until my pathetic flames that barely do damage at that point in my character's life and finish her off. Meanwhile, she's taking on like 3 bandits at once. Yeah, so I've decided to wait for a follower until a little later when I have a little more control over my magicka, so I don't injure anyone in the process. That's the plan. I probably won't even grab a follower, though, until I get to Serana, probably, most likely. Which I still have Serana on another playthrough I'm doing. I just let her go back to the castle, Volokar.
You could always go and get Cicero. He's a great follower.
Yeah.
He's unkillable.
Yeah, I have used him, actually. He is a pretty good follower, actually.
Or you could get Barbas. You go,
Oh yeah. Oh man,
on Gilliman.
you get both of them at the same time.
Yeah.
If you work it out right, you just be and the goat. You could have those two and Gletta the goat.
Well, I have the perfect follower. So I came across an enchanted ring that when you put it on, this two-handed warrior spirit appears and goes to town, and
nice.
when you take the ring off, he disappears.
Oh, nice. That's like the Marisi mod where you get far enough up and you get the is it Marisi or is it the other one? I forget. The one where it's a half Khajiit.
Yeah, that's Marisi.
Yeah, you get the saber cat later on. Is that what it is? Saber cat? And you wear a ring and it basically like conjures it almost. Yeah. It's like a black saber cat or something. I forget.
Yeah, and it's even better than a conjured follower because you don't have to wait for them to time out. If you want them gone, you just take the ring off right then.
And then that's it. Yeah. Same thing with that one. It's the same mechanic. Same basic mechanic. It just it's a real life saber cat, but it only appears when you wear the ring. I don't think you can do it in cities, though. I think it's limited where you can't actually have the saber cat come into the city.
He's not litter trained, huh?
Yeah, well, it's a really big city. Yeah, it was a big city. I think it was like I don't know, I forget. It was like had like red eyes and it was black or something. So it was like even more scary than a normal saber cat when you're running across the plains by Whiterun there.
Yeah, because that's what saber cats need to be made scary.
yeah, exactly. When you're like at that low level and you're going north of Whiterun and you're like, everything's going to be fine. It's all going to be fine. And then, wham, the end. Like out of nowhere, you're like, the saber cat found me.
You're like, oh, hey, Diego. How you doing, buddy?
It just never goes well. And they're fast, too, so they're hard to run away from also.
Yeah, unless you've got a horse, you're doomed.
Yeah, you got to kite them to something and hope that that happens, or...
you killed your thing to kite it to.
Well, that's
what you need, a big Nord woman with a huge metal shield. Save me! You run behind her and you stand there.
That's a good point. Yeah, there's that one over by what's the cottage where the necromancer lives? On your way up to Labyrinthian, up towards that way.
Oh,
it's still on
Drayla's
cottage. Yeah. There's that one saber cat over there that I always end up wandering into the area of accidentally. There's nothing to really kite it to over there though, because he never leaves the cottage. So. Is there anything associated with his cottage other than him being in it?
I haven't found a quest of being able to go in there and but I know it's called Drayla's Cottage, but
yeah, I guess it's.
I'm pretty sure when you walk in there, the guy that's in there, I don't remember him being called Drayla's. I thought I said just alchemist or necromancer or something like that.
Yeah, it might be actually. Yeah,
I don't know whether it was Drayla's.
Yeah, I wonder if it was one of those things where it was going to be a quest and it just fell by the wayside or something. Or if it's just like Anissa's where it has, that minor story to it, but it's just a place you can wander across.
It's and everything in there is marked as steel as well. Same as Drayla's.
Anissa's
cottage.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, anything in there you steal.
So on UESP, the notes are, due to his high aggression, if the fight spills outside, he will kill his own chickens.
I didn't know a fight could end up outside. Like, I didn't know it could cross over, because it doesn't go outside of caves or...
I don't know. I guess if you try to leave his cabin, he'll chase you outside.
Man, I had no idea. I mean, I know he turns really quick and wants to kill you when you're in there. I mean, it's immediate. Yeah, There's no pretense of pretending like you're like a niece just sitting out front as the old woman innocently. Of course, you do break into his place technically if you see him. So I mean, yeah, that's a good point. you've already trespassed in his area.
But if I remember right, though, it's not a locked door.
No, it's not. So I mean,
You could be a candygram.
Yeah. I mean, maybe
there's no no solicitors.
Yeah.
No trespassing. None of those signs are out front. How are you to know?
I mean, it could be empty. Who knows? You got to check it out.
Yeah.
Make sure he's okay.
Yeah. He's got a lot of good stuff in there. It's a shame it's all stolen once you take it.
Oh, I tried a new trick because I came across, what was it? I'm like level 17 or something, and came across Meridius Beacon. Ray's favorite thing. And I saw it.
Although now I'm going to have to do it.
Yeah. I had a look at it. Excuse me. And I saw it in the chest, luckily enough. And I took everything else but that. And then stepped away from the chest. And then I went, hey, Lydia, take it. What's in that? So Meridius Beacon is in Lydia's thingy. So she's got the quest. The next time she has a day off, she can go and take
care of it. Yeah. Oh, gosh. Oh, amazing. It's a good way to work around that. I think I might have the beacon. I wonder if I have the beacon already. I probably do because I'm level 19. Usually you get it at like 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now it's just sort of like, like somebody's driven past you with a really loud radio.
Yes.
When you pick it up, it just sort of like, becomes noise to you.
Yeah.
I need to go through there for the museum anyway because I got to collect everything. Obviously I have to get Dawnbreaker and all that. So I'm already up there. I might as well stop in there.
Yeah, I mean, really, Meridius Beacon is what trained me not to use the take all command. So now I'm far more selective in my chest looting.
That and Baron Zaya stones.
Oh, I started picking those up.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Well, you know what? We're gonna have to do it.
Yeah. I don't like downloading that. The one that has the markers mod on it.
Oh yeah.
And I've got 21 of them.
Oh shoot!
And I only know of one more, which is the one that's in the Dark Brotherhood. That's the only one I know of. I have no idea where I got the rest.
Oh,
Isn't it? That is the worst. I mean, please just put a little tag on there. Just a little note on the side of the thing. This is from the Dark Brotherhood sanctuary.
Yeah.
Plus, I didn't pick them up and then immediately find out it was a dragon. So I've got Stone of Baron's Eye, Stone of Baron's Eye, Stone of Baron's Eye, 10 Stones of Baron's Eye.
Oh man,
making my inventory look untidy.
I don't know if I've picked up any Stones of Baron's Eye yet. I think I've avoided that so far. As far as I know. I mean, I could have, though. Who knows? Sometimes you just do it accidentally.
Yeah.
And don't even realize it.
And I did it because I was in a place that I wouldn't necessarily go back to. So, you know what? Yeah. I may as well pick this up while I'm here.
Yeah. Was it? I think I found one where I didn't expect to find it, and I picked it up. I think it was in was it Maven Blackbriar's house, I think.
Oh.
And that's in the house that's in Riften, not the house that's out by where the Dawn Guard are. I wonder if there's one in there, actually.
Oh, I don't know, actually.
She might have two. Because the one I found was the one that's in her house in Riften.
Huh.
I haven't been inside the house that's down by where the Dawn Guard is. Maybe there's another one in there. I'll have to go and check it out at some point.
It would make sense if she had two. Honestly. If anybody was going to have two, it'd probably be her.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's been so long since I collected them all.
Yeah, and I've done so good. This is in my permanently level 81 character. he's whatchamacallit. He's done nearly everything. I can't see, as I said, the only one I haven't done is the Dark Brotherhood quest, and he's done like all the big caves, like the one up north with the the necrophiliac, and then you got the one I know down in Markarth. What was it, Dracula with Dracula's with their eye or whatever like that, which has the pommel. There's one there. I can't think of where the remaining ones are. I've been to all the cities. I'm Thane of all the cities.
I remember there's one in the Archmage's quarters.
Yeah, I got that one. I done the Mage's Guild pretty early with this guy.
Yeah, I just started taking points in Magic. Try to get up enough at least so I can go up and do the beginner spell for.
Oh, yeah, to get into
the entrance.
Yeah, I was quite lucky. She asked me to do a spell I already knew, which was Conjure an Actronaut.
Oh, there you go. You can also do the shout there, right?
Yeah, only if at a certain point in the Dragonborn quest.
It has to be far enough along, right?
Yeah, it has to be the one where you're looking for the Elder Scroll.
Oh, okay.
So once you talk to Parthenax and he says you need the Elder Scroll, and then you go in there to the museum to look for it, and then you can get in with the shout.
Actually, I'm pretty close to that spot. I may wait and go in that way.
Yeah, I've done that once or twice because I didn't realize you could do it that way until I happened to be I hadn't done or gone into the college and was doing the main quest and figured that out.
Yeah. I love passing tests with it. Do you know who I am?
For sure. That's the way to do it. We were talking about the Skyrim on Switch in Discord earlier in the week. It was about the gear that you can find. So if you haven't played on Switch, you can get the gear up at High Hrothgar. You can also get it if you use your amiibos. I don't know how to use amiibos, so can't. But you can still find the gear. There's a chest right before you get to make the last left-hand turn to go up to Parthenax, I believe. It's like off to the side of the trail, and there's the 3 items in there, like the shield, the clothing, and a sword, the Hyean sword or something like that. So. Yeah, we were talking about that, but yeah, you can't get them only in Switch. Oddly enough, you cannot get them on anything else. I mean, I'm sure there's a mod, but my one playthrough on Switch, I did that. My only problem with Switch is the screen was too small and I couldn't see to shoot arrows or shoot magic.
Yeah.
So that was the minor problem. So everything was two-handed because it's pretty easy to figure out.
Yeah,
if you're hitting somebody or not.
Yeah, my eyes are getting to the point where I don't do anything under a 24-inch screen.
Yeah. No, I definitely hear that. So, what's going on at the Fallout feed and in space?
Fallout feed, we're tearing it up in Fallout 4. So we just finished up rescuing Nick.
Oh, okay.
From his predicament, and so now we're gonna talk to him about finding Sean and hunt down Kellogg. So those are the quests we'll be doing this week. And then in space, we're exploring the new pet mechanics. So
you can have pets now?
Yep. So you can have pets, and you can. There's a machine in one of the space stations that you can go in and genetically modify them. Yeah. So the first thing that everybody did was make these giant 20-foot tall pets. So since everybody was doing that, I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to see how small I can make them.
Oh man, made the smallest pet you can.
So now I've got the smallest pet you can get, who is roughly this double the size of a food pellet.
Oh man.
And so, yeah, when if he's on anything other than dirt, you can't find him.
Oh man.
Even in the short grass, he's
invisible. Basically,
he's still gone. Yeah. All you see is the little marker above him, running through the grass.
Don't worry, right. God, they've done so much to that game. It's amazing.
Yeah, there's just so much to do.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be looking at. I was actually going to pick up Valheim on my phone, but I did realize I wasn't logged into Steam, and I have no idea what my password is, so I'm going to have to do it on the PC.
Yeah, and Valheim looks really cool, and I'd love to play it, except that it's third person.
You're third person, yeah.
And it's just it doesn't look that fun.
Yeah, I don't mind. I can do third or first. Either or doesn't bother me. Sometimes I do have to go back to third person just for motion sickness sake. Most of the time in Skyrim, though, I can go first, especially in fighting and stuff like that. Definitely going first.
Yeah.
Maybe running across the landscape, I don't.
Yeah, I will. In Skyrim, I will occasionally flip out into third person if I want to cut down on the sound of my shoes clapping against the stones as I run.
It's a little quieter.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I jump out third person for harvesting ingredients.
Oh yeah,
and I only found that out recently as well. It's super easy. So when you're running along the road and you're picking up mountain flowers and thistles and everything like that, it's much easier in third person.
Yeah, it is.
If you pull all the way out as well.
Yep. Yeah, because if you're just running, you can just keep tapping the button and it'll pick them.
Yeah, you just sort of hover over and come out above the head type of thing. So but if you're in first person, then you have to turn and grab it, and then you turn around to the opposite side. But you sort of you can swerve, like you're a drunk, on the way home. Sort of just meander along, sort of saunter from one side of the road to the other, picking up all the ingredients while you're trotting along.
About the only thing I pick anymore are mushrooms because they're in the caves and I can't ride my horse in the cave.
Oh, I was using that mechanic, but I found it was a little slow picking things up.
Yeah, you definitely don't do it at a trot.
Yeah, you have to almost pause on it for a second and then continue on, and it will pick them up.
Yeah, it was when the mod first came out, you can actually see it in one of Gopher's videos, and he's just sprinting along at the side of the road, and he's just got his finger held down on the harvest, and he's just zooming along at 200 miles an hour, and just all these flowers are just disappearing. Just as he's sprinting along. So I think they must have nerfed it some just to sort of give it some kind of immersion.
Yeah.
So I have that turned off, and I have talk to people turned off, and I have looting from animals turned off, and all that. I turn all that out because I'm a bit I do ride the horse quite a lot, but most of the time if I'm going somewhere, because I'm harvesting ingredients, I'm off the horse, and it's just following me along. And when I get overloaded, I fill it up and then carry on running. But if I've got to go up high Hrothgar for the third or fourth time, then I'm definitely going on the back of the horse.
Michelle asked, Ray, why don't you ask Andrew for a nice pair of muffle boots to muffle us? And Dave can't understand why everybody runs because you miss things, drunk or not. Yeah. No, I haven't been running as much lately. I've been, sauntering on the horse. My horse doesn't go very fast. I don't run with the horse. I kind of trot along. Unless I'm running away from a troll or something like that. That's pretty much the only time I go into run at this point. Just slowly exploring around, getting lost on my way to places where I'm supposed to be doing things and never getting there. as you're supposed to do.
That was it. Oh, you know that bear cave that's just in Iverstead? Well, actually, you got two of them.
Oh
But as you're heading up,
One on
as
each
you're
end.
the one that is right near the steps where you're going up the mountain to the right there.
Yeah, the one to the right. Yeah.
I went in there and like the bear wasn't down at the usual place around that rock or whatever. He was up at the top on the little overhang. And then suddenly he stood up on on his like hindquarters, went up, and then he disappeared into the ceiling.
Oh
and
god.
I was like, oh, awesome. So I was just like, right, fine, awesome. I'll just leave Lydia and the flame atronach to sort of throw stuff at it but not hit it. And I was over there and I'm looking in the chest and I found in there and it was big stuff. And then suddenly in a second he was right behind me going, "Rah!" It took a huge chunk out of my ass and I was like, ah! I had to run all the way around. There's a big rock in the middle, so I was just running around the rock.
Oh,
He was chasing me until he finally, Lydia got in front of him and started bashing him with the shield, and took obviously what the tank's supposed to do is take all the damage.
Well, I guess next time we'll get together and talk some more of it. Actually, I think next weekend, I have Games We Grew Up With is going to hop on with me to talk about Skyrim a little bit. They have a Twitch channel and a podcast. They go over games they grew up with, which is kind of like the early 90s era of games, which is after games I grew up with. But the people I know from outside of gaming, from running actually. But yeah, so they do a podcast, Games We Grew Up With, and actually the last one they did did GTA 2, which I had played, which was the top-down view GTA where you drove through, I think, Guernsey City or something like that, and a couple Chuck Yeager Flight, the Chuck Yeager game. They did that one, a bunch of different ones. Maybe Star Fox was the last one, I think. That was another flying game. So yeah, they're gonna hop on to talk a little Skyrim.
All the games I grew up with came in a box.
Yes, yeah.
and had a board.
I did have Atari when I was pretty young, so that came out when I was young. So there was that. And I hopped right into Adventure, the most basic RPG essentially that you could ever play in your life. You're a square with an arrow that looks like a sword that looks like an arrow. And there were dragons. So basically it was Skyrim, but there's a lot less to do. Oh, man. Well, that's all I have. You guys have anything else?
Excuse me. Sorry. Bad case of the sleepies. I got nothing.
Yeah, daylight savings time still killing me here on the East Coast.
Yeah, I think we got that coming up soon. I don't know when.
Yeah, I can't really complain about that.
No effect. Had no effect whatsoever.
Yeah. It really only impacts you when you got something you got to do.
It's a good point. All right. Thanks to Frater and Michelle and Dave, who all hopped in the different chats, Discord and on Patreon. Yeah, so I've been trying to do the audio live on Patreon, or not. Yeah, well, the video is on Patreon when we go live. And I've been trying to do the audio live on Discord, which I got correct this time. I'm not sure what was happening last time where the audio wasn't going through, and then Ray had to do it. But it was proper this time. I think I just hadn't set up my mixer in time before I opened Discord or something, so it didn't recognize it or something like that. But
yeah,
it's that's all resolved. So
cool.
All right, thanks everybody for listening. And
thank you guys.
Next time.